Hey guys, welcome to my reaction trailer review, shot-by-shot review of Star Wars The Old Republic, Knights of the Eternal Throne. Now, I was not going to do this initially, but a fair few of you have asked for it, so, I told you guys I wouldn't say much for it, but let's just get right into it. So for those who don't know, this is Senya, I believe. Now the thing is, okay, here I should establish what I know of SWTOR. I've never actually played the game before, but I am familiar with the storylines and the books that they have had with them and the lore behind it, but I never actually played the game. So I know her as Senya from Knights of the Fallen Empire. She was in that previous expansion, and that's all really I know about her before watching this trailer. For instance, I assume this is her mother. This is Vaylin's mother, Senya. Also the mother to Thixan. I don't know how to say his name. Theaxin and Arcann, the two twin brothers that we've seen from the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline. But I mean, just so I can comment on something, they make very, very beautiful things on for SWTOR and just in general. These cinematics are like brilliant. I really think they should just make a standalone story for this because it's so beautiful. And this is cool, her carving with the Force rather than carving it with her little knife or whatever she's supposed to be using.
Vaylin.
And this is cool. So this is cool. We get a new sight onto the scene that we've seen from the previous trailer, the previous cinematic, where we see the twin brothers Arcann and Thixan training, which is cool. You see like a new sight of their sister watching them and admiring them, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, you see her, she's just giddy. She's like, I want to do that. I want to kill things. It's kind of scary, actually. And this is cool. This moment's cool right here. Her, like, trying to use the Force. And be like her brothers. Like, she just wants to be like her brothers. And I mean, this is kind of scary. Like, you see this smile and you're like, okay, we get it. Like, she admires that she figured out how to use power. But the thing is that the power that she's using is the dark side. And we all know the trappings and the negative aspects of that. But it's kind of cool to see that through the eyes of a very innocent image of a young girl, you know, that she likes that she has this power, but you know, like, she doesn't know what she's going to be able to do with it, which I like this aspect. And it looks so good. Look at that animation. Just her like brushing her fingers in the sand was great.
Another.
I'm a sucker for training scenes. Any kind of training scene, I love it. Look at this. Is like a short film. We're watching a short film right now. Love that moment. And the reason I love that moment so much isn't so much because it's just training and we see her power and how her anger is growing and how powerful she is with her anger. But also I like that sequence just from a editing standpoint, how they had it like all sound was going out except for her focus, which was on the armor, breaking the stick. Like, we just hear that because that is what Vaylin's headspace is in. And then after that point where we see Senya saying Vaylin, you know, she's shouting at her, that's all muted out because that we're totally in the eyes of Vaylin at that point. You know, she's focused on just destroying these guys and killing them, which is terrible. I mean, now we have Valkorian here, like watching this and being like, oh, okay, maybe I can use her as well, which is pretty dope. You know, I like that entire sequence. It was really well done. And again, that little smile again. She has that little like, oh, I'm proud of what I did, but I know, oh shit, I killed these people. Not the best thing, you know. Again, I'm assuming this is her mother. I mean, I don't see why it would not be her mother. Valkorian taking her away and be like, okay, she's pretty powerful, she's awesome, I'm gonna use her for my own exploits, and the mother's like, I don't really know if I want that, so this is cool. And all of this reminds me of like Jack from Mass Effect. If you guys have ever played Mass Effect, like look at her, she's completely Jack from Mass Effect. And like even how she was taken as a child and remolded as a weapon for a bigger entity's own creation, that's exactly the same storyline from Jack and Mass Effect 2, mostly Mass Effect 2. Most Mass Effect 3 she kind of chills out, but like I like the there's that connection there. And BioWare, it's the same company that made Mass Effect, so again, it just looks very beautiful. Very, very beautiful music. Like that Star Wars music right there. Again, nice little touch. They refer back to her little carved animal, whatever that is, playing back to like possibly saying that, she still is retaining her innocence, or just that this is Senya trying to hold on to her innocence and to make sure that she continues being the daughter that she loved before, not this like weird cult leader thing that they're turning her into. And of course, you gotta have a fight scene in one of these cinematics. I mean, look at that. That's Jack. That's like a little Jack right there, guys. That's entirely Jack. Even with the tattoos that she's got going on, that's like totally Jack from Mass Effect. That's what's up. Now, let's look at this. I wonder if her weapon has the potential to turn into a saber staff. Like, what's the reason for that extension, I'm sure if I played the game, I'm sure that there's an explanation for what this specific weapon or saber is. But just judging from like, the trailers and stuff, I have no idea what the function of that is.
Stay behind me.
All right, so we're going to go through this fight scene bit by bit. It's awesome. For people who like to ask me about lightsaber forms, if I were to assess her very quickly, what I think she is, I think she would be an Ataru Nimon specialist. So that's a Form 4 and Form 6 specialist with the way she fights. So you have, like, they really do well with their fight scenes, I think. They do a really good job. Like, look at this. This is so dope. Like, this integrated kick, her evading, Like, I like seeing masters at play sometimes with their fight sequences, and masters who like know how to control a fight. Okay, so here you go. Here's what the weapon does. It turns into a pike, a lightsaber pike of sorts. So she can use it for blunt force trauma as well, which is pretty dope. And then she puts it away, just goes straight hand to hand. Like, this is all very awesome. Like, this whole thing is so like, boom. Look at this. Put it away, sock him. All right, next person. Grab him. Did she just make him stab his friend? Oh, yeah, totally did. Made him stab his friend. And then this last move she has, let me play it. That's dope. She uses, I think, the guy's knife or dagger, throws it at this guy on the side here. And then, I don't know what this is. So this looks like, oh, I get it. That was really cool. Okay, so when I first watched this, without, doing this frame-by-frame thing, I thought that, someone had a blaster on them and she shot a blaster at somebody. But no, what she did is she did a tricata, basically. She just turned it on, turned it back off, basically making it effectively a blaster pistol, essentially, for a second. Because that's what a lightsaber is. It's just a long beam of, what a blaster is what a lightsaber is, but sustained. So that's dope, that she like basically like shot him real quick, which is pretty dope. And then he's done. She disables this guy. And then this is the guy who still has the knife in him. He's been disabled, but I think that makes it enough. And it's funny how she basically uses this guy on the left as a step ladder simply to avoid this guy's strike, but also to like do this huge like falling leaf Taru's move, which is pretty dope. I think that whole sequence was really, really, really well done. And people might ask, oh, am I going to use her in a Versus series? Maybe I will, because that was really dope and I liked it.
Vaylin, come on.
I'm trying to think, do they have voice acting in the other trailers? Yeah, they do have voice acting in the other trailers, but I think it's done really well. It's subtle in this one, but it's done really well. This shot right here, though, it just looks so good. Like, just look at it. Like, they really need to make a movie. They literally need to make a movie. That was the first time I actually noticed that. They had the little laughter of Vaylin, the young Vaylin, which is cool. I think that puts us in the mind of Senya and like where she is. Like, she's lost her child. There's nothing that she can do to get her back, which I think is, I mean, that's of course going to be the conflict of this new expansion pack, I would assume, which is it's cool establishment. And again, after we had this sequence, this like really like scary sequence, we have we have this image playing back again of this toy, and I like that they have played up this theme throughout the trailer. And like, again, we really did witness an entire short film with the beginning, middle, and end. And the toy itself, I think, represents Vaylin's youth and the death of her innocence. At first, we have it when it's being established and it's being carved with in this very nice scene, this lit up scene, and then we have it again when Senya saves her from the cult, the fallen Empire cult, and now we have it here where it's in a muddle. It's been discarded in a puddle in a mud, and it's like, that's it. That's the end of Vaylin as we know her as this innocent child. She's done. She's like this Sith, well, not a Sith lady, but she's this dark side lady now, which I think they did a very good job of telling a visual story, a visual short story. Very good. And I thought this was awesome. I think we should see more like elemental force users, because I mean they can do a lot with the force, and having this establishment, her using the lightning to shock up a bunch of fire and stuff like that, I think that was done really well, and I think we should see more of it. And I think that's what's great about this stuff here, is that you can play up more of these kind of things in this in SWTOR, or in this because this is the only Legends material that is being continued, because most of the Legend material has been scrapped and not being continued, and this is still one of those things that are, and you can see force abilities go to this level or be more experimental than you can in like the official canon stuff, which is something I enjoy about this franchise. Like, even that, like, you won't hardly ever see this sequence, like even her, like even just pulling the lightsaber, like and then fighting, that kind of thing. Although it's kind of silly. If Vaylin really wanted to kill her, don't do this Ataru flourish thing. Look at this, like, just kill her now. Like, why are you doing this twirly stuff? Like, that's kind of like the failings of Ataru sometimes, that you try to do too many flourishes. Like, just at this point you could just lunge and stab. But yeah. and then you see it's her, it's your daughter, who I assume is your daughter, but it's Senya, and she's done for. She's fallen to the dark side. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, like I was saying, like most of this trailer was just me like talking about how much I enjoyed it. Like I think these trailers are always perfect, and maybe it's not completely fair to compare these to the movies because they only have like 6 minutes, and it's easier to impress somebody, I think, in 6 minutes with just like really cool visuals and like hints of the story versus making a full length movie. So even with me saying, oh, they should totally make this to a full movie, doesn't necessarily mean it will translate very well to a full movie. Like I don't know if they're fully capable of, or not capable of, but if the story automatically lends itself to a longer form. But again, like I always love these cinematic trailers, and okay, thank you guys for making me watch it or for making me discuss it, because it was fun. It was fun to discuss that and kind of mull over what I thought about it. So okay, maybe I should do this more often, because I don't really like doing the reaction where it's like, oh, cool, awesome, that was dope. Like I really like thinking about what the filmmakers and what the story, the narrative is telling me. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace, love. May the force be with you always.